I cannot believe I'm about to completely expose myself and my insane, creepy stalkerness in this video right now. But I'm sharing it because I really feel like this has been the #1 tool that I've used to build my network and achieve all the career success that I've had and continue to have so incredibly quickly. And really how I did it was by What's up, designers? My name is Kelsey. I'm an NCIDQ certified interior designer and the owner of KLSY, a Manhattan-based interior design studio specializing in commercial spaces. My mission is to help other designers excel in their career while promoting transparency about the industry. If you don't know it already, networking is probably the most important thing that you can do for your career. And it's probably the most important way that you can get clients. It's not about how good of a designer you are. It's not about how good you are at business. It's not about how hard you work or how many all-nighters you pull. It's about who you know. Whether you're a business owner seeking out new clients or a designer working at a company, networking can single-handedly provide you with better career opportunities. So if you weren't blessed with a lifetime of nepotism either, then in this video, I'm gonna share with you a tool that has exponentially helped me network and create better professional relationships. What I am not going to do is talk about why networking is important or confidence-boosting tips for talking to people in person. If you're interested in all of that, I actually already have an interview-style video with Tarra, the founder of Network Next Gen, on my channel where she spills all the tea on all that stuff. So I'll leave a card to it right here, and I'll also leave it down in the description box if you want to watch that one next. What I am going to show you today is even simpler than that. I'm a bit nervous about it. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my very own Excel spreadsheet. By now, you're probably thinking that this is clickbait and very anticlimactic, but please let me explain. In addition to having an Excel spreadsheet for just about everything in my life, I also have an Excel spreadsheet of people I have met. Let me walk you through it. All right. In an effort to keep confidential the actual names and contact information of the people on my spreadsheet, I've gone ahead and created this example for the purposes of this video only. So as you're seeing, I have a couple of basic columns on here. I have a photo where I always like to either go on someone's LinkedIn or I'll just search their name and I'll put their photo in. This is for that scenario when I'm at an event and I recognize someone, but I can't remember their name. It's not coming to me. I can look at their photo and see their name and all of their information. I then have their name, their company that they work at, their contact info. Remember to always get their email or phone number. If you have both, that's even better. Their job title. I find that this is important for just knowing where the person is in terms of hierarchy in the company. You want to know if you're talking to a junior designer, you want to know if you're talking to a studio leader, or maybe you're talking to the CEO of the company. I feel that that piece of information is important. I like to write someone's location because sometimes they can work at the same company, but maybe they work in a different city or in a different sector. And then notes is where I'm going to put any information pertaining to that person, pertaining to maybe the conversation that we had. Maybe I'll write down a specific project they were working on, any callbacks that I need to either continue having that conversation or to refresh my memory on what I discussed when I did meet that person. I'll also note maybe where I met them. That's just another point to refresh my memory on where I was, what was the context and the situation that we met. And if you're not an interior designer or you're in a completely different industry, then kudos on finding this video, but feel free to customize this template and the spreadsheet and add or remove anything that is relevant to you, relevant to your career, relevant to what you want to use this for. But I think this is a good system. This is kind of how I keep track of people I've met and who I want to reach out to. And then maybe as I meet the person again, I'll add more notes. I'll continue editing the information in here. And I can also use this as a great sales outreach. Or again, if I want to contact people in the future for any opportunities or any reasons at all, or just to chat. At this point in the video, you're probably now thinking, Kelsey, what the fuck is this? You are a stalker and you have way too much time on your hands. Also, how does keeping a database on people's personal information help you build a better network? All valid points. I initially got the idea for the spreadsheet after reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. If you don't want to hear the next anecdote that I'm going to say about why my book looks like this, then go to this timestamp and you can skip over this part. I bought this book several years ago. I was obsessed with it. I've read it so many times through, and I've highlighted so many things in it, which all the pages I flip to show no highlighting. I promise I've highlighted something in this book. I was like leaving for the day one day, back when I was living on Long Island with my parents. I was in like college still. I brought the book with me everywhere kind of. And so I was getting into my car, and much like a Dunkin' Donuts coffee, I put it on top of my car, I got in, and I drove away. It actually carried down a couple of blocks because I couldn't find it. I walked around and it was nowhere to be found, and I just chalked it up to, fuck, I lost my book and I have to get a new one. About a week later, my father came home and he said, look what I found. And he brought this to me. When I first retrieved it, there were many tire marks on it. It had been so disheveled that some of the pieces are falling out. And oh, look, there's a tire. There's a tire mark on it. It also rained several times from the day that I lost it to the day that my father found it, so this book has been through so much. If you've never read this book, then you've probably also never listened to a finance bro mansplain social skills to you. Good for you in that case. But it's essentially a self-help type book written by Dale Carnegie in the 1930s about the ways in which you can get people to like you or convince others to see your point of view. Basically how you can use psychology to, I guess, like manipulate people in a sense. It sounds bad when I say it out loud, but it's a very popular book. Also, the 30s were like a weird time, you know? The longer this video gets, the more fucked up I sound. There are a few tactics that Dale Carnegie suggests to, I'll say, build these relationships. One is by learning the person's name and speaking their name in conversation often. For some psychological reason, which, disclaimer, I'm not a psychologist, I went to art school. When we hear people using our name, we subconsciously feel closer to them and we trust them more. It makes us feel like, oh wow, this person is taking the time to learn my name, or I haven't seen them in months and yet they remember my name. Especially if you haven't seen someone in months and you call them by their name, but they don't remember your name. They immediately are put in the position of, oh shit, I feel so bad, I don't remember this person's name. They're more likely to engage in a conversation with you and might ask you more questions about yourself so that they be sure to remember your name the next time they see you. It sounds like a little like, not like manipulative, but it's a really simple concept that a lot of people talk about, and it's so important and it's so simple and so effective. Another tactic that Carnegie refers to is to talk about the other person's interests, because all people are self-centered, and as humans, we love talking about ourselves. And this goes hand in hand with another point he makes, which is to be genuinely engaged and interested in what other people are saying. You can't fake being interested in a conversation. Well, I guess you could. If you've ever been a woman dating in New York City, you can attest to this. When you're first meeting someone and you're getting to know them, pay attention to what information they're offering up to you or what is exciting them. For example, did they bring up their children? Are they working on a cool new project at work? Are they planning their first trip to Europe? Be engaged and ask them more questions about whatever it is they're sharing with you. Like, oh wow, your first time in Europe. What places in particular are you visiting? Do you have any tours booked? Who are you going with? I will then note all of that in my Excel spreadsheet so that the next time I see this person, I can follow up with them about those topics and know immediately that they will be interested or excited about whatever I'm bringing up. This book is a bit outdated, but if you haven't read it already, it's a classic, and I thought it was very helpful and interesting, and it'll make me sound like less of a manipulative, crazy person if you read it. Now that I've explained my reasoning for being a serial stalker, let me walk you through my hypothetical scenario of how I use this to network better and build professional relationships within the industry. Okay, let's say I'm a junior designer, I'm at an industry event, and I'm introduced to a woman who is a studio leader at another firm. During our conversation, she tells me that she's been at the firm for 10 years and she leads the hospitality studio. She recently gave a lecture at a panel event and she's planning a family trip to California with her husband and 2 kids. I'll make like a quick little note in like my notes app on my phone about things that we talked about. Maybe, you know, that she has 2 kids, she's going on a trip to Europe, she did this panel event, and like what firm she works at. Bonus points if you get her business card or any contact information, which you always should be. If you're talking to someone, if you're networking, always be getting their information and giving your information. If during that conversation you spoke about meeting up or continuing your conversation, then you also have her contact info to send her an email. If not, that's fine. You don't need to follow up with every single person you come in contact with. I would think like, is this a person that I'm interested in getting to know more, or someone that could be a good contact for me in the future, or someone that I want to follow up with? We're back to our hypothetical scenario. Fast forward, it's 4 months later and you see her at another event. You've talked to a lot of people in the last 4 months, so it's totally valid if you don't remember her name or most of your conversation. So you get out your phone, you pull up your little Excel spreadsheet, find her picture, and refresh yourself. Diane! Oh my God, I haven't seen you since the XYZ event back in March. How was your family trip to California? Is your studio working on any cool new hotel projects? Oh my God, how are the kids? Are they starting school yet? Bam, you have the perfect way to open another conversation with this woman, and you have so many topics of conversation to revert back to. And it will also help build your confidence if you're someone who maybe never knows how to start a conversation, or you're not sure how to get the conversation started, or you don't know what to say to this woman. You have literally notes of things that they are interested in talking about, that they would want to talk about, and something that will build that relationship closer, because you're not just talking about surface things, you're talking about things you've already had a conversation with them about. So, oh my God, I'm really passionate about this Excel spreadsheet, guys, you can tell. I've gotten clients from using my spreadsheet. I've gotten jobs. I've gained best friends and business partners. If you're in my professional life, you're probably on the spreadsheet. Don't text me and ask me if you're on the spreadsheet. You're on the spreadsheet. So that's my method. Go forth, but please use this power for good and not evil. If you're looking for more educational interior design content, then be sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to sign up for my email list down in the description box to receive even more designer insights. And with that, I'll see you in my next video.